Hello, inmates. Welcome to the cellblock Scorch. This is Red. This is week 232B. This week's prompt was given by Cricket, and it is "The world's gonna end in slow motion." I don't know. I was probably sad this week, I guess, but this is already like a kind of sad prompt, so I'm not going to take full responsibility for that. You're going to notice a trend in which I consistently win with really sad pieces for some reason. Maybe it's just because I write sad pieces a lot, but maybe it's because people give tragic prompts and it's not my fault, okay? But yeah, the name of this Scorch was Slowly, and I'll just jump right into it. If you asked Matt 6 months ago if it was possible to just slide out of love, he would have said no, plain and simple. Something had to happen to cause the shift. There was absolutely no way someone could just slip away from such a strong emotion. He still couldn't quite wrap his head around it, but he'd watched it now. He understood that it was something that could happen. He'd been with Erica for so long, in love with her for almost the same amount of time. He fell fast, but she'd fallen fast too. Nothing like a whirlwind, it didn't fizzle out. The feeling simply rose steadily and then stayed there. He wasn't bursting with it or consumed by it, but Matt could take comfort in the steadiness, in the unchanging, unwavering warmth. Well, he could. It started so slowly that it must have begun before he even realized something was off. At first, she simply stayed a little later than usual at work. Nothing extreme, nothing obvious, just something. For weeks, Matt searched his memories, trying to figure out the moment he made a mistake, at what point the emotion had started to waver for Erica, and he couldn't find one. He let it go, told himself it was his imagination. Until it was 2 weeks later, and suddenly dinners had a lot less talking. And then it was a month later, and Erica canceled their date night twice. And then it was 3 months later, and she was smiling at someone texting her like she used to smile when he texted her from across the room, bright and free. Then she didn't reach out for his hand when they were walking together. It was little moments, tiny, insignificant things that built and built and built until Matt couldn't lie to himself anymore, until he couldn't ignore the pangs in his chest, as he ignored yet again another thing that had stopped happening in their relationship. Watching your world end slowly was cruel. Seeing as Erica smiled and laughed and hit her coworker on the shoulder hurt more, and he should leave her, should tell her that she didn't love him, because Matt wasn't entirely convinced that she knew. And maybe it made him a coward, or a masochist, but he wanted to stay. He wanted to be surrounded by the love and care they once had for each other, even though he knew it had changed. He didn't want to give up on them, on what they used to be.
Hey, it's Cricket here for Judge Comments. I got 2 really good pieces this week. I got one from Safety Matches, which I think was a little bit more in the vein of what I imagined when I gave this prompt. The world's gonna end in slow motion. I think I was picturing something kind of really dramatic, really high stakes. And then Red rolled up with this beautiful, really sad piece. I teared up just now reading it. So, of course, as the local sad hours girl, and also as the person who I feel like always lingers too long. Um, ooh, is that too? Should I say that? This one just really hit. Like, I thought it was such a good, like, interesting use of the prompt. It wasn't what I expected. It really got me in the feels. I really enjoyed doesn't quite feel like the right word, but I did. I like this piece a lot. And that's why I picked Red.
Yeah, that was mine. I'm sure that Cricket's gonna give some judge comments on it. This is just a little standalone work. I don't even have, like, anything close to a universe connected to this. This was just, like, a little ditty that I wrote. Yeah. I don't remember struggling with this prompt or anything like that. I probably didn't know quite what to do with it, but obviously I cranked something out that Cricket liked, so yeah. My prompt for the next one was, for week 233B, is: you'd think that aliens trying to start a human zoo would pick a more diverse selection than you, and the only two people you would pay to watch suffer. Yeah. If you really, really like this, you can go to my Ko-fi and drop a couple of dollars. But if you just like all of us, then you should go to our Patreon and check out what we have on there. So keep those fires burning.
The Cellblock Scorch is a production of Stellacore, an independent group of nerds sharing their obsessions with the world. We can be reached at thestellacore@gmail.com, through comments on your podcast platform of choice, our Instagram, Stella_core, and at our YouTube, also called Stellacore. Follow Cellblock Scorch Podcast on Instagram, or the Cellblock Scorch on Tumblr to see the prompt the day before the episode drops and a quote from each Scorch the day after, with flavor commentary from Red, our social media manager. Feel free to check out our other productions on our YouTube channel or our cosplays on Instagram. If you would like to support our creative endeavors, you can give a one-time tip to the Ko-fi of the writer of your favorite Scorches, or check out our Patreon, linked in the show notes. There, you can access the Scorches and episode transcripts for free, or sign up for Spark level support for $5 a month to gain access to our embers as well.